Bolo on the beat.
Welcome everyone, this is Dumfries Africa all the way from Kenya with the target of reaching out to Africa with this latest technology, stem cell therapy. Why is it extremely important? Why do we need to know about it? And why do we need to embrace it for our own good in one way or the other? I remember one madam who was a manager for several banks in the coastal region where I grew up. She used to say one of the greatest things she fears in her life is becoming old and looking old. It really used to traumatize her. That one day her skin will never be smooth like mine, but it will start frowning. Her face will start sagging, and other parts of the body doing the same thing. She did not like that experience. Unfortunately, what she feared most befell her. Not only that, she started developing the heart problem and other body organs problem. And finally, at the age of around 65 to 67, she died after being in a long-term painful experience. While before that and retirement, she was earning very well as a regional manager for one of the banks in our coastal region, earning very well. But after retirement, ailments started taking place. And I'm quite sure there are so many people today who are in such kind of fear, and they'll hate to find themselves looking old and having ailment in one way or the other. Then the big question is this: is there something which can be done to reverse our cells, tissues, and organs so that we no longer fear becoming old, but we celebrate it by feeling young, looking young, and accomplishing more tasks? Now, for this to work very well, then we need to understand one thing. The concept of stem cell or stem cell therapy is one of the concepts which can facilitate the whole of this process, so that as we continue chronologically growing in age, biologically we can continue becoming young and younger. The interesting thing is that in our hospital, we have no medication which has ability to do that. But for long life and longevity, something else has to be researched and to be found. And today, just as we have pharmaceutical industry, we have what we call stemceutical industry, which is bringing a great revolution in our world of today, specifically reversing lifestyle diseases or non-communicable disease. Now, that one brings us to this question. Then what is this stem cell? How does it work? And is it available in our society today? First, I'll define what stem cell is, then how it works in our body, and then how we can be able to activate it for our own good. Stem cell is any cell which has ability to become other type of cells, or any cell which has ability to become any type of tissue in our body, or any cell which has ability to become any organ, and finally any cell which has ability to become a missing cell. And this specifically we call it alpha cell. It's the main cell which our bone marrow produces. Our bone marrow facilitates production of millions and millions of alpha cells. Once they've been produced in our bone marrow, they're supposed to be circulated within our whole system to be available in each and every corner of our cells, tissues, and organs. So that once they've been circulated, then they can be differentiated, meaning they convert from being alpha cell to the cell in need, or becoming alpha cell to other type of tissues, cells, or organ. That one becomes extreme. That process of alpha cell becoming other type of cells, tissue, and organ, we call it differentiation in the scientific term, meaning that there's a conversion or a migration at the same time. Meaning that there are three kind of things that happen. First, there's production of alpha cells, circulation of alpha cells, and finally, what we have migration or differentiation of alpha cell to other type of cells, tissue, and organ. When these three processes take place, then we have a complete process of stem cell therapy, which facilitate our well-being. Now, why is it extremely important? Most of the time when we are sick and we go for conventional medication, we either get oral medication, injection, or IV as a way of our treatment. So once we take the medication, it gets into our stomach if it is oral. From the stomach, it gets into the bloodstream. Then it targets the pathogens within our system, bacteria, fungus, protozoas, and other kind of problems which might be underlying within our system. If it is not from within our oral, then we go for IV, whereby now the medication is taken straight to your bloodstream and to target the disease which is causing you to have ailment. If not that way, sometimes we get injection. From the injection from the muscle, the medication gets into attack. But where there's a big challenge is this. What about if someone has a condition which is systemic? For example, your pancreas is becoming too old, and because of that, it cannot produce enough beta cells, so you are becoming diabetic. Or you're having kidney problem, liver problem, heart problem, gut problem. When these kind of problems, which are systemic most of the time, they occur, the best thing you can get within our facility is management of the problem, but not reversing the problem so that you can become better. Or someone with cancer problem, whereby the problems are good cells are now undergoing a lot of pressure and distress, and they are converting to become cancer cells. Or probably someone has been having a lifestyle whereby the internal system is so acidic and so carcinogenic, and finally is becoming cancerous at the same time. When all these things take place, then it means even the good cells are right now being damaged, and in the process of being damaged, they're becoming cancerous. But unless there's a medication which can get to the cellular level, not ending at the tissue, then there's no hope. That's why most of them go for chemotherapy, because chemotherapy are toxins which can get to the cellular level to target, to destroy cancer cells, but in the process, they also kill good cells. That's where the challenge is. No wonder today, most of the medics are not for that as one of the ways of intervention. However, the challenge is this. When we have systemic problem, which are their origin from cellular level, then most of the time reversing the condition becomes extremely challenging in one way or the other. And that's why now Stemcell comes in, so that how can we have a process whereby our cells, tissues, and organs can be reversed competently, and we overcome systemic related conditions or non-communicable diseases. We are talking about diabetes, you're talking about autoimmune problems like arthritis, you're talking about lung-related problem. Maybe somebody got COVID, and up to date, the lung has never regenerated itself. You're talking about a problem with the eye, and even some people, like a person who got diabetic, and suddenly the eye, she lost his sight, and many other kind of such problem, among many. How can we competently reverse? That one means you must have a technology which addresses our non-communicable diseases from the cellular level. Why? Normal oral medication gets to the tissue. Injection gets to the tissue. IV gets to the tissue. So if the problem from the cellular level, you won't be able to reverse it, but to manage the pain as you wait to meet your maker. Doomswiss Africa, due to this challenge taking place in globally in so many places, came up with a concept which can be able to reverse all this problem from a cellular level. And that's what I want to share with you, the solution to this problem. How can we be able to make people who are scared of getting old becoming younger and younger. How can we help people who are diabetic type 2, type 1, reversing the condition? How can we create a system in our body whereby all these other ailments can be reversed? We must use a system which facilitates and allows our own natural body healing mechanism to take its course, and in the process, things will start changing in one way or the other. Meaning that what we are doing in Doomswiss Africa is creating conducive environment in our body, internal system, so that the body can heal itself the way the creator designed it to be. But how can this thing happen? Now, what Doomswiss Africa has done, they have gotten into partnership as a manufacturing company with Stemtech. Stemtech being the second best stem cell company in the US. Now, as these people have come together, the agenda is how can our life become better through the concept of Stemceutical in our world of today in this generation. Now, the first stem cell product which this company has come up with is called Stem Release. It's called Stem Release. This is the first one which you can see in the middle of all this product. Now, Stem Release is a combination of a number of nutrients and vitamins. And out of that combination, they've come up with a compound which once you take it orally, it gets into your stomach, into the bloodstream, then it communicates to your bone marrow to produce more alpha cells. Why is it important? Because when you get at the age of 25, what happens is this: our natural production starts moving down. At the age of 25, our natural production starts moving down at that particular point. Now, once supply starts moving down, then there are gaps which start coming up and affecting our systems. Now, Stem Release ingredient inside it facilitates the bone marrow to start producing once more millions of alpha cells to billions of alpha cells. So the more you are taking the Stem Release, the more supply takes place in your system, and our body requires as many alpha cells as possible. But for these cells to live for a long time, and other type of cells like even DNA to be extremely healthy, then within our chromosome, at the end of the chromosome, we have what we call telomere. Now, one of the ingredients within Stem Release facilitates the health of the telomere. And it has been found out that the healthier your telomere, the more you are going to have longevity. Meaning that when telomere starts being getting worn out and broken, what happens is that it makes the life of your chromosome to be so less, and not only that, the cell's durability gets affected, and in the process, people die much earlier. You start looking old much earlier. Have you ever met with someone who probably is at the age of 30, but it looks as if he's 50s? It happens so many times. Why? Maybe because of their lifestyle, too much smoking, too much of drinking, maybe they're in the harsh environment that they're working. Most of the time, the damage on the telomere makes them start looking older than they are. Stem Release exists so that by the end of the day, we can look as younger as possible, reversing our biological clock from our chronological clock. Very key and very important. So two things are happening. More alpha cells are being supplied, but at the same time, there's a reinforcement of the health of a telomere. But remember, stem cell is not just a matter of alpha cells being produced. It has to be a three-way circulatory system.
Our bodies have the amazing ability to repair tissue cells to maintain our health and well-being. However, factors such as daily exposure to environmental toxins, physical and mental stress, a poor diet, and the aging process may cause a decline in the body's ability to renew itself, putting our wellness at risk. When your body needs maintenance, repair, or renewal, signals are sent by the tissues in need to release adult stem cells from your bone marrow into the bloodstream. Adult stem cells circulate in the bloodstream and flow to the tissues in need. When they arrive, the adult stem cells migrate into the tissues, reproduce, and become new healthy cells of those tissues. This process takes place every day, even without tissue damage. as part of the natural renewal system of the body. Stem Release 3 supports the natural release of your body's own stem cells from the bone marrow. StemTech was the first to discover the way to support the body's natural renewal system with a clinically documented stem cell enhancer. Now in its third generation and more effective than its original version, Stem Release 3 is designed to deliver unprecedented results. Studies show that the more stem cells you have circulating in your blood, the greater the ability of your body to naturally renew itself. With Stem Release 3, you can function at your best and live the healthy, long life you deserve.
Stemflow becomes the second stem cell product. So what does Stemflow do? Stemflow facilitates the circulation of alpha cell in every part of our body. I repeat, Stemflow facilitates the circulation of alpha cell in every part of our body. Now, this is extremely important because you might meet in one way or the other with some guys who are having a company and they claim they have a product, which is a stem cell product. But their product might be very good in supply, but is it competent in circulation of the alpha cell? So what our company does, they've also given us Stemflow so that as alpha cell is being released, it can get to a process of being circulated through our blood circulatory system to every part of our body. Very key and very important. Now, while circulation is taking place at this particular time, the second thing it does is detoxification. It starts detoxifying heavy metal and other kind of toxins within our system, which create sometimes toxicity, create a lot of carcinogenic environment. Sometimes it starts attacking and damaging other good cells. So now stem release eliminates all those kind of toxins. Even if someone has probably constipation, suddenly you start realizing that you start losing or releasing a lot of toxins even from your bowel. And you start going for long call, short call, you're sweating, all the toxins are being released out of your system. Why are they being released? They're being eliminated from our system so that there can be now a good supply and flow of the alpha cell within our bloodstream. And the third thing it does, Stemflow, it continues to reinforce the health of the telomere. Why? The healthier telomere, the younger you will look and the better you'll be. Now, try to imagine, if you start using this product for the next maybe 1, 2 months or 3, you are healthy, but you want to reverse your age. What does it mean? Even your biggest organ, which is the skin, the more there'll be a lot of supply of alpha cell and a lot of circulation of the alpha cell. Now, your skin will have the opportunity to be regenerated and to look soft and nice.
We all have heard about stem cells, but what exactly are they and why are they so important for our health? Stem cells are the building blocks of life. They are undifferentiated cells that have the potential to become any type of cell in our body. This means they can turn into skin cells, muscle cells, brain cells, you name it. They play a crucial role in our body's ability to repair and regenerate itself. Now, let's talk about what happens to stem cells as we age. As we get older, the number of stem cells in our body starts to decline. This can be compared to a construction crew. When we're young, we have a full team of workers ready to fix any damage. But as we age, our team starts to shrink. We don't have as many workers, or in this case, stem cells, to repair the damage. This reduction in stem cells has a direct impact on our health. It's one of the reasons why it takes longer for wounds to heal or for illnesses to recover when we're older. It's also why older people are more susceptible to diseases like cancer. When the number of stem cells decreases, our body's ability to regenerate and repair itself is compromised. In conclusion, stem cells play a vital role in our health. They help our bodies repair and regenerate, ensuring we stay healthy and strong. But as we age and our stem cell count decreases, our health can be negatively impacted. So it's important to take care of our health and do what we can to support our body's stem cell production.
But remember, stem cell therapy is not about releasing alpha cells and just circulating. It closes to be a complete system by what we call migration or differentiation. Now, this is whereby now the alpha cell is becoming other type of cells, the needed cells in our body, and at the same time becoming other type of tissue, nerves, and even organ. Now, this is the time whereby if somebody had a stroke and some of the nerves had been damaged, they get created again. They become regenerated again to become fresh. Somebody had lost memory. Now the lost cells, which in terms of memory, get now supplied again, and somebody starts recovering memory once more. This is the time whereby if somebody had a kneecap or arthritis, it will start regenerating back again at this particular point. This is the time whereby if someone in one way or the other good cells have been damaged so much because of other foreign cancer cells, new, fresh, healthy cells will start coming in. Now, during this particular time, the immune cell intelligence goes very high. And once it is very high, it starts instructing alpha cell, become this kind of a cell, become there. Now, other immune cells now will be able to identify, because your cells are healthy, they'll be able to identify good cells which have become cancerous and they'll attack them. One, some will need to be fed. Some of the carcinogenic environment and toxicity in our system make our good cells to become cancerous. Then they start now inflaming other cells, inflaming our organs, and finally, in the process of doing that, different type of cancer start developing. Migrastem at this particular point facilitate the awareness of the internal problem so that now regenerative process can start taking place in our system.
Stem cells are precursors to your existing cells and the most important cells for your health and healthy longevity. Stem cells help repair and renew your tissues and organs. Scientific studies indicate that increasing the number of your healthy circulating stem cells is essential for maintaining an optimal body performance. And while we all know the importance of releasing and circulating your stem cells, what about helping to get those stem cells to the areas of your body that need them most? Introducing the all-new MigraStem, an exclusive stem cell nutrition supplement designed to help effectively migrate your stem cells to where you need them to go in the most efficient manner. The blend of nutrients in MigraStem enhances the natural migration of your healthy stem cells, supports the immune system function, detoxification, antioxidative activities, and prevents the age-related damage. Exclusively from StemTech, the Release, Circulate, and Migrate system of wellness is made complete.
Now here we have a very powerful tool which exists to make our internal environment conducive. Who needs it? Healthy people need it so they can reverse all their tissues and organs and have healthy cells at every given time that they may live for many years. Some healthy people need it so that they can come out of that feeling of sometimes I'm feeling healthy, sometimes I'm not healthy, and then they can get back to be as healthy as possible. Then sick people with non-communicable diseases, they need it so that their cells, tissues, and organs can be regenerated. And once that takes place, the body can be able to reverse all these conditions and they can be as healthy as possible. So meaning, so long as the problem is systemic and there's more reinforcement of good internal environment of supply of alpha, circulation of alpha, and regeneration of alpha, migration, then we have hope. Something good can take place and something wonderful also can continue in one way or the other. Yeah, I'd like to show you something here interesting about this senior doctor who was talking about stem cell, why we need stem cell, and the fact that everyone has stem cell.
Well, I call it a mantra because it summarizes in just a very simple way what's so important about the human body. Everybody has stem cells. Everybody uses stem cells. Everybody uses stem cells every day, and stem cells work, and they work every time. Well, first you have to understand what stem cells do. This is physiology at work. This is nature at its best. In fact, if you think of it, how did we survive? How do human beings manage day in and day out to survive? Because all the cells in our body are constantly dying. We put up a good fight, we have an immune system, we have all types of defenses in the body to protect us. But eventually, the cells die. So we have to literally restore, rebuild, replace, replenish those cells. And so the repair mechanism must of necessity be there. It's like having a war where soldiers are dying on the front. If you don't have troops to replenish the front lines, you got a problem. And that's what the stem cells do. They literally provide, in a sense, a constant supply of new cells for all the various tissues of the body. But this evolution has really followed a pattern. The pattern was this. We were persuaded that since cells make organs, organs make tissues, tissues make bodies, if we get good healthy cells, we'll make healthy organs, which will form healthy tissues and healthy bodies. So the focus was, what can we do for the cells to feed them? Give them what they need and they'll be healthy, and then they'll produce healthy organs and healthy tissues and healthy bodies. What we didn't stop to think about was this, and this is really evolution, that now we've come to realize that, look, you could keep feeding the troops, supplying the troops, arming the troops, equipping the troops, providing for the troops, but they'll die. And eventually you need new troops. You need some way of replenishing, repairing, restoring the activity on the front line. And that's why stem cells, in a sense, is the pièce de resistance. For me, it is the leading or the cutting edge of nutrition and supplementation today, undoubtedly. Why? Stem cells are held in the bone marrow. If you think of it, you could consider the cells to be held by adhesive in the bone marrow.
I thank everyone for listening and joining us.